Most people who come off GLP-1s gain the weight back. Not because the medication failed, not because their metabolism is broken, but because of what they did or didn't do while they were on it. So the question isn't really, can you get off GLP-1s without regaining the weight? The answer to that is yes. The real question is, what determines whether you're someone who keeps the weight off or someone who gains it all back within months? That's what this video is about. I've worked with people on both sides. Clients who have come off semaglutide, tirzepatide, and retatrutide and kept every kilo off. And then clients who have rebounded completely within weeks. The difference wasn't the medication. It wasn't genetics. It was habits. And it was timing. We're going to cover what most people get wrong when they come off GLP-1s, what you need to be doing right now while you're still on them, how to actually taper off properly, and who might benefit from staying on a low dose long term. The biggest mistake I see people making is waiting until they come off them to start thinking about maintenance. By then, it's already too late. Coming off GLP-1 successfully doesn't start when you stop taking them. It starts while you're still on them. Because here's what GLP-1s actually do. Semaglutide, tirzepatide, retatrutide, they all reduce appetite, improve blood sugar control, and make it easier to lose weight. That's not up for debate anymore. They work. But they don't automatically teach your body or your habits how to maintain that weight loss when they're gone. And that's where people run into problems. The medication creates a window where appetite is quieter, cravings are reduced, and it's genuinely easier to make better choices. The people who keep the weight off are the ones who use that window, and the people who regain it are the ones who don't. One of the most common problems that people worry about when they're on GLP-1 medications is muscle loss, and also changes in body composition. And yes, this happens, but what most people don't realize is that this isn't caused by the drug itself. It's caused by undereating protein. When your appetite drops, which is a big part of why these medications work, most people end up eating less of everything, including protein. And that's where the problems start. Your body needs protein to maintain muscle mass, and muscle is one of the biggest drivers of your metabolism. Low muscle and your metabolic rate drops, which makes it much easier to regain the weight when the medication is gone. And this is a non-negotiable no matter what GLP-1 medication you're on. You need to be eating at least 1 gram of protein per pound of your ideal body weight per day. Not your current weight, your ideal weight. That is your target. And hitting your protein goal doesn't just change your metabolism. It changes how you look when you lose fat. You get a lean, toned result instead of a deflated one. It significantly reduces the risk of what people call Ozempic face, that gaunt, aged look that comes from losing muscle alongside fat. So regardless of anything else in this video, get your protein in every single day. Now here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. GLP-1s don't just affect your appetite. They affect dopamine pathways in the brain, which is why people often notice reduced cravings, but not just for food, for alcohol, impulsive behaviors, even gambling. The research on this is fascinating, but still evolving. But what that means practically is this. Being on a GLP-1 gives you a genuine advantage. The noise is quieter, the cravings are lower, and it makes it significantly easier to build better habits. But that window is only useful if you use it. You need to take advantage of this window. You need to build these habits now so you can continue them later. Because I've also seen the opposite. People who override the medication, who push through the reduced appetite, who continue old patterns even when they're on it. And when they come off, there's nothing in place to support them. So if you're on a GLP-1 right now, this is the time to build structured meals, prioritize protein at every meal, create consistent eating patterns, establish a training routine, improve your sleep, and reduce reliance on alcohol. Not perfectly, but consistently. Because when you come off, these habits are going to be what carries you, not the medication. And I want to be really clear here. This isn't just about food. I'm talking about sleep. I'm talking about stress, movement, alcohol consumption. All of these will impact your ability to maintain your weight loss long term. The medication makes this easier to address, so use it to your advantage. Now let's talk about the process of actually coming off, because this is another area where people go wrong. They stop abruptly, and then they're surprised when everything feels harder. Hunger increases, cravings come back, energy feels different, and they assume something is wrong, or they think that they need the medication, that they have no chance without it. Nothing is wrong. What's happening is their body is missing out on something that was picking up a lot of slack and doing a lot of the work. So instead of stopping abruptly, you want to taper. Gradually reduce your dose over weeks or even months. This allows your body to adjust slowly. Your hunger signals can recalibrate. Your metabolism can stabilize, and your habits to take over where the medication was. And this is of course something you should be doing with guidance from your doctor. But the key principle is simple. Don't rush it. Give your body time. Now, I want to be honest here because I have seen both outcomes. The clients and people I have seen who have come off GLP-1s and maintained their weight loss all have a few things in common. They used the time on their medication to genuinely change their habits. They built a training routine. They made sure they were getting their protein in. They addressed sleep and stress, and they tapered off slowly. People who rebound share a very different pattern. They relied too heavily on the medication. They thought it would do everything. They didn't have to think about what they were eating, when they were eating, how much protein, whether or not they were eating junk food, if they were exercising. They looked at GLP-1s as a quick fix, as an answer to all of their problems. And oftentimes, they stopped abruptly. They didn't have the habits in place to fill the gaps the medication left. So in both scenarios, the medication is the same, but the outcomes completely different. I'm telling you guys, the difference is always habits and timing. Now, this is one group of people I want to address specifically, and that's the people who often struggle the most with what is known as food noise, a level of mental preoccupation with food that makes it very difficult to function normally. For some people, coming off GLP-1s entirely might not be the best approach. There's research showing that a lower ongoing dose, what's often referred to as microdosing, might be a better option for certain individuals. Now, this isn't a blanket statement, and this isn't saying that you have to stay on the medication forever. Like I said, the research in this field is emerging. It's about weighing what is going to give you the best quality of life, what's actually sustainable. Because if the alternative is coming off completely and falling back into cycles of binge eating and weight regain, then a small controlled dose under medical supervision might be the more realistic path. I actually have a full video coming soon that's gonna address microdosing in depth. But the honest answer to whether or not you have to stay on GLP-1s forever, there's nuance to it. It depends. There's no one right answer. Don't look at someone else's experience and assume it's going to be the same for you. Because like I said, if you can build the foundation, if you can build the habits, then once you reach your weight loss goal, you should be able to carry that on. But check in with yourself. Be realistic. So can you actually get off GLP-1s without regaining the weight? Yes. But you have to make sure to treat the medication as a tool and not the solution. Build muscle and hit your protein every day. Use the window of reduced appetite to build habits that will outlast the medication. Taper off properly and don't rush it. And be honest about where you're at with food, with habits, and with your relationship with your body. GLP-1s make the fundamentals easier to implement, but they don't replace them. The people who keep the weight off are the ones who put in the work while the medication is making it easier, not the ones who wait until it's gone. Now, if you want to know more about peptides, and specifically about newer peptides that work better than traditional GLP-1s, including one that's showing more weight loss than anything else currently available, I'll link a video on the screen now. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on my microdosing video coming soon. That one's going to be worth watching, whether you're on a GLP-1 now or just curious about where this space is heading. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.